Did we fix it?
I believe we did. I see our levels going. If any of y'all in chat can confirm that we are now audible, that would be amazing.
I'm asking.
Thanks.
Say,
Okay.
wait,
Okay.
say some more stuff.
It looks like we have a couple of confirmations.
Okay.
I can hear something, but it's.
Okay, for those of
I
you
hear something.
who, well, we're the only ones who have the recording. So to catch you guys up, our party is walking through the forest, being led by a goblin who they don't trust very much because they showed up eating their food and threatening them to death by acquaintance of their tribe. And as they are led through the forest, they find themselves stuck in some sort of magical loop, and a voice from an ambient voice is speaking to them. So to pick back up, you said, show yourself.
I said, come out.
Come out.
Come out.
Is that a persuasion or intimidation?
It doesn't matter. The same roll.
Well,
But
if it's
that-
persuasion, I can help you.
There's that,
Okay,
but also
well-
the tone is important to their reaction.
I think she's trying to intimidate them, to be
Okay.
fair.
Okay.
Intimidation.
Whether or not
You're
that's the better
shit out of luck
decision.
then.
Yeah, no, that's a 9.
That's a 9.
It's a 9.
Still feeling things out here. Here, tell me something. Do you prefer the fall or the spring?
The fall.
Spring.
Already dissent within the party.
No.
So
I'll be the tiebreaker. I prefer fall.
Uwasa kind of points at them both.
I'll be the odd one out.
Well, what a wonderful choice. I do hope you like your trip.
What?
I need you all to make a dex save.
God, what a bastard.
You know, it's hard to. Because of this world you've created, it's hard to.
You guys get
not
an extra
just
plus
become
1.
Vindictive and want to kill everybody.
That's fair. It does not help in the Feywild either.
It's a natural 20, 22.
Okay.
8.
Here's a
13.
Okay. As the ground, it almost deletes itself from under you all. Narissa, you quickly grab onto a branch of a tree as you hang precariously over this pit as you see all of your friends.
Hey, spring was the right answer.
Probably would have thrown us somewhere.
You guys like yelling at each other.
Yeah, that's not just the thoughts.
And you can hear each other, but it's strange. You simply keep falling and falling.
I pull myself
Was
up on top of the branch.
The distance.
Yeah, does it
Increasing?
appear as though, like, yeah.
Is the distance increasing?
Yeah, between this hole and me.
It seems so.
Great.
Well, yeah, because, like, Narissa is above us, who is not falling. So is that getting further and further away?
Yeah.
Yes, it does seem so.
Cool.
Are we just in a white void and there's just,
Black
like, the
void.
tree?
Yeah, it's black
Or, like-
void. You can see the rocks and like all the different minerals surrounding you, glowing lichen and other, pebbles and things like that, crystals jutting out.
Can I try and whip around one of the jutting out crystals?
What kind of check is that?
It's like
I
a
don't know.
really high strength save, maybe.
You tell me.
To like keep yourself from. your fucking arm's like dislocating.
Well, he has the whip, so you know what? Let's make this an attack roll.
Yeah, I was thinking an attack roll.
Okay. 17 plus 8.
Okay. 17 plus 8. You whip on to a crystal. I need you to make another dex save.
Natural 20. 24.
Natural 20. And as you sort of like whip yourself onto this crystal, you feel your whip, like a bungee cord, begin to spring you back above the pit.
I'm assuming they're out of reach.
You can try.
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay. Go for an athletics check.
Not my strong suit. Big plus 0. 19.
19. Who's closest to you? 1, 2, 3, and re-roll on a 4. 1's Uwasa, 2 is Airsid, 3 is Aelin.
Okay.
And you reach out and grab the small goblin who's been harrying you.
That's who you can get.
And they are going to make a dex check. And you find yourselves both flung back to the top of this pit. In the sky for just a moment, you are held aloft as you find yourselves above the trees and immediately back down on the same ground that sort of disappeared in front of you. Narissa, you've been watching them sort of like squirm and scramble on the ground as you realize there's no hole.
It's a genjutsu.
I let go. The branch.
And you see Narissa just kind of like standing there looking at you guys. You see Airsid and Uwasa both almost like unconscious and mildly flailing.
Give him a little slap.
It doesn't seem to wake them up.
I'll give him a hard slap.
God. Airsid and Uwasa, I need you both to make intelligence checks or intelligence saves.
Whoa, why am I good at that? Why do I have +3 on
Rogue.
intelligence saves?
+4.
Is that what it
No,
is?
negative.
Oh, +4.
It's a negative. He has negative intelligence, so it's +3.
But you're.
Oh, I am standing next to you. It's +4. Correct.
19.
19. I'll roll for. Did you smack Uwasa too?
Yeah.
Just like one slap across
Yeah,
both
what?
their faces.
Dang. And they both spring back to life. And you hear the voice. You guys are a little too powerful for all of this. Fine, no more games, for I fear what may come next. And you see, kind of walking out of the tree that you were just holding on to, Narissa, up in the branches, a blue owl.
Mr. Owl.
Is he like the size of a person or an owl?
He's a big owl, probably like 3 to 4 feet tall.
Big owl.
But with the proportions of an owl. He looks like an owl.
He is an owl, a
Okay.
sort of like Harry Potter owl, with icy blue feathers with dark blue tips and just void-like eyes that look like you're staring into an eclipse.
Okay.
Who are you?
Who indeed?
Funny.
Mr. Owl, I think is good enough. If I tell you my name, I think that might be a little much. I have not asked you for yours, have I?
Suppose not.
There we go. Then he does like a little bow, kind of extending his wings. So, you want to leave. And why should I let you?
Why would you want to keep us?
Why would anyone want to keep you? You're interesting. And I'm a collector.
Oh, no.
And I
I
just
don't-
slap my face.
I don't want to be collected. I think you should release me.
Oh, but my collections, they love us so much. Please, you could live forever
No.
in grandiose. No,
Kill
No.
things that live forever.
shame. So, if you will not let me collect you, then how about I continue to let you walk until you are exhausted and starving and too weak?
What if I plucked you and ate you for dinner? How about that?
We have a lot more in common than I thought,
Okay.
but that might get you the ire of far worse than I.
I'm not too afraid. Not anymore.
Good thing I don't eat fear. And they sort of flop down onto the ground a good ways ahead of you, probably 40, 50 feet. What to do as they pace around. If I cannot collect you, then what can you add to my collection?
We have this goblin.
Yeah, how about this goblin?
I have many a goblin. This one, nothing special. And they sort of kind of just hit the ground and start whimpering.
Oh, sorry about that.
Like rummage through my satchel.
I know I'm looking through my shit.
How about these?
These. No.
All right. How about? How about?
Got something for you right here.
How about
You ever heard of Ligma?
How about this amulet? I'll pull it out.
What's so special about this?
This is a Tystragar family crest amulet.
Oh no, did you lose Ibrahim?
It seems we may have lost Ibrahim.
God damn it.
He's added to the collection.
No, no. Not the collection.
I'm sorry.
Back.
Tystragar then.
Mm-hmm.
BRB.
Tystragar's long dead now only remaining amulet.
I'm just shaking my head like, yeah,
A
absolutely.
collector's piece to be sure.
And
Only one of its kind left.
you see their eyes narrow. So, a name, is it sweet as any other?
Yeah.
If I take this amulet, it comes with me, a part of you.
In what way?
Tystragar. Tied. Strung up. A leash, maybe. As you see
Is he trying to leave?
a leash form around your neck.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know about all of that. Not really one to like work for others or with.
And what if it becomes necessary one day?
For us to work together.
Yes.
Well, then I suppose I wouldn't need a leash.
Well, then how else am I supposed to reel you in? I will let you, and I mean all of you, pass if you agree to come to my beck and call at least once.
Now, is this going to be like at another time later down the road when I'm not in the Feywild anymore?
It depends on how long you're in the Feywild.
What if I'm really busy at the time where you want to call me?
Yeah, like, do we have like, can we have like a buffer room, like report back to you within like 2 days or something, so that like, you know, if we're in the middle of something kind of important, like we don't just get sucked out.
We, Taistragar, and he being who?
Well, I'm assuming that they are just acting out of the kindness of their heart and saying that they would come with me.
Oh, it's just your deal you're making.
Oh, it's just for him.
Oh, well, if
okay,
you're
yeah, I mean-
comfortable with that.
You are bastards still.
A deal's a deal, one for another. I'll help you. I am only one. You help me, and so are you.
Oh, so I'll be the only one leaving.
I promise, if I ever need you, I won't put you in so much danger.
No, no.
Wait, so are you gonna let all of us out of this illusion that you've put us under, or maybe whether you've done it or not? Are you gonna let all of us out, or just him?
Well, the more you ask, the more I debate changing my mind.
Just let us go.
So, puppy, what will it be?
Don't look at me like that. I'll fling the amulet across the snow.
And they sort of pick it up with one of their talons. They peck at it a little bit, and they shove it into their kind of feathers. And you and Ersid both see that there are many more trinkets within their wings. Beautiful. Mr. Taistrugal, a friend. And only you hear this. My name. Well, they call me Glacius. And with that, I do believe a contract is made.
Great.
And you sort of see like the trees shake as if a violent wind is pushing through them, and a path opens up behind this owl. Is there any more I can do for you? You've given me quite the morsel here, as they look at you, Lucian, with a glint in their eye.
Point us in the direction of the meanest archfey you know.
Nollis.
The meanest. Well, that's a little different. And you said Nollis? Would not call Nollis the meanest. I may contend.
Oh, great. Okay, fine. In the direction of Nollis, then I already know where you are.
Only for so long. And what is it you seek from Nollis?
Personal business.
Something I can help you with?
No offense, but like I'm not interested in doing like I'm not interested in your help after you begrudgingly helping us. Like you
Begrudgingly,
got your amulet.
I am.
Yeah, I mean, like if you just wanted to be a helpful person, you could have just helped us out of that loop, but you didn't. So you got your amulet, and you got his servitude for one mission. So thank you very much. We're good.
Not buying.
Well, if that is all, then I hope you 5 have a wonderful day. And be careful. I would not consider myself the trickiest of the bunch either. As they disappear into the trees.
I just look at Lucian and I say, oof.
I don't say anything, and I just walk.
As you
And
guys... Go ahead.
I look at Oasa and I sign to her. Remember how you were talking about how like I don't trust people and I'm like kind of rude? Like this is a great example. Like like they're just taking advantage of us because we're in a shitty situation. If people were just like pleasant and honest when they met us, then I wouldn't be like rude or like want to kill them. Just food for thought.
Just for
Gosh, you're throwing up gang signs right now, dude. You're throwing hands out here. And Iwasa just kind of takes a deep breath. I get it. I don't think they see it like that, though. What we think is fair means little to nothing to them. I mean, think about it. I'm here because of something as simple as a broken promise. And now my voice is gone. They take things a little too literally, I think.
And then I'll respond. Okay, I will admit that, I will give some benefit of the doubt because we're in a different plane of existence, but I'm going to start keeping tally of just rude people that we meet and nice people. And I'm, cause what you said to me, made an impact. So I want to do
keep it
a little,
tally.
yeah, a little experiment about it. So, yeah.
I hope your particulars are quite clear here. What about Aelin? Are they nice? Are they rude?
Well, considering the fact that they said that they were there to kill us, but then they didn't, that I do count that for something, which is why they've not tipped me over the edge. So the jury is still out, but nice enough, I suppose, for now.
And she kind of shrugs as you guys proceed. You keep walking until you find what looks to be the edge of the Anish jawline. You see these mountains springing up before you, tall, heavy, and you see what looks to be like a signpost pointing in every single direction.
Aelin?
Does it have like names on the signposts?
You see west, northwest, east-west, west-west,
Weast.
east,
Wumbo.
pointing straight up.
Well, what about my internal spell, Direction Finder?
It's telling you to go straight.
Does that correspond with one of the signposts?
In front of you is a wall.
It's like Labyrinth, maybe.
It is simply the stone of the mountains in front of you.
Unless there's some kind of spell or some kind of trickery, I don't think that would be what the voice would be telling me, because it is supposed to guide me. The voice knows to avoid natural hazards so that it does not send you through trackless wilderness.
You've read me the spell twice. I'm trying to keep it extremely in mind as I present these issues to you.
Just put my hand on the rock.
It's firm.
So what is it? This is a mountain?
Yes. But as you take your hand off, you see writing. Do any of you speak Sylvan?
I do. I speak it all, brother.
Yeah, you do have a lot of languages. As you kind of push the snow away and look, And it speaks of, in short, flames of darkness and light of fire. A sconce is handed, but never an ire. You must retire or fear the moon, for if you wake, a path may be gone too soon.
You don't. You don't. Well, I'll repeat that to everyone, but you don't happen to have that like in text somewhere that I can like look at, because
I got you.
Pass the torch. Something about fire.
Sleeping.
waking.
Sleeping, waking.
You must retire.
Retire as in sleeping, because
would-
that's another.
I would assume
Yeah.
so.
Roll for riddle.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Fear the moon in a place that never has one. Is there a moon?
Is there a moon?
Yeah, in the sky.
At this point of the day, you don't see, like, I think sometimes in the Feywild, actually, no, there would just not be one, because I don't even think there's a semblance of a sun.
Right.
Okay, so flames of darkness, light of fire. A sconce is passed, but never in ire. You must retire. Don't fear the moon, for if you wake, a path is gone too soon.
Don't
So
fear
if you
the moon.
wake, yes, don't fear the moon. What is a sconce?
It's like a torch on a wall.
Okay. What is ire? I feel like I should know
Anger.
these words.
Like to be upset.
Oh,
and
okay.
angry with someone.
Flames of darkness, light of fire. Well, and I just take out a torch and I like put it against the wall. Like I light it and like put it against the wall.
You bring it in and you see that the words start to sort of glow, but it doesn't seem like everything. There is some sort of reaction.
Can I walk up and down this mountainside and see if there's a sconce anywhere on it?
Roll. You don't see one. I think with your perception, I think you'd be clear enough to say if you saw it or not.
I turn to Aelin and say, "Well, is this the direction that you're familiar with? You said you know where Enolis is."
Oh, this. I mean, I do. No. And really, I do. And she puts her hands up. But this is different. I think she knows.
Let us pass. Let us in.
What is the what? What's the Elvish word for friend? I would know actually. I'm an elf.
You would know the Elvish word for friend.
Well, then in character, I speak the Elvish word for friend.
Aelin says it back.
Okay,
Who?
so it's not the password.
Aelin does. Oh, okay. I don't know. Rissy, any ideas? As I just like keep waving my
Genius
torch.
thoughts. I'll cast Moonbeam in front of me.
The text lights up in a radiant, bright light. And instead of where the torch kind of only kept it lit where the torch was, it seems to be permanent now. You feel like you guys are on the right track.
Interesting. Don't fear the moon. Okay, maybe that's what that was. What is a flame of darkness?
Like a shadow blade.
There's Kane when you need
Yeah.
him.
If I move the moonbeam kind of like down and along the wall, does that do anything?
Yeah, any more text?
No.
I just lay down in front of the wall.
Well, don't do that. You'll
Lean
get
up
hit by
against
the
it.
moonbeam.
I could take a little, I would take a little rest.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
next to
maybe-
the wall in the moonbeam. Where are you?
Don't sit
Yeah,
in the
maybe try and
moonbeam.
fall
I
asleep.
won't sit in the moonbeam.
Next to it.
Just next to it. And I'll just rest up against the wall like I did when I spied Ersid and Uwasa having a nice little moment. A nice little rest.
That was a very pointed rest. And the rest of you are all sleeping? Just Lucian.
Yeah, like, are you gonna actually try and go to sleep?
Sure.
What kind of roll is this?
Roll
Roll
for sleep.
wisdom to see if you can actually like chill out. You know, get relaxed enough to where maybe if you wanted to, you could sleep here.
Just a straight wisdom roll.
Yeah. I think I'll make this a check instead of a save because I don't think there's a sleep save. That would suck.
Dream, 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 dream.
13.
13. I think that's pretty good as you sort of relax. And you see in your mind's eye a hallway. You see sconces on either side. And in front of you, simply darkness.
Hmm.
The rest of you just see Lucian
Taking a
kind of nodding off.
Well, while he's doing that, there is one thing that I was like thinking about doing since I was like falling in that Genjutsu portal.
Yeah.
I just always want to have an arrow tied to my rope.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna say that right now. Like that's just kind of what I'm doing. I'm in my backpack, kind of just waiting to see what happens for him, and I'm tying a rope to my arrow. And I'm just always gonna have an arrow at the end of my rope.
I like that. That's good. Do you have inspiration already?
I do not.
Take it.
Excellent. Thank you, DM.
You're welcome. Thank you for being creative.
Always having a rope tied to my arrow. Arrow tied to my rope.
There's the English language is a wonderful thing.
I don't know. Silly. Okay.
Oh, can I go to sleep all the way?
You feel like you're asleep.
Okay.
What does it look like from our perspective? That he's asleep?
It looks like he's not like looking around or anything. It looks like he's nodding off. With your perception, I think it's clear to see that it looks kind of like his eyes are rolling into the back of his head. He's nodding off.
So then, in this
He's not in REM sleep yet, huh?
No blinks.
Okay.
sleep state, can I move in my mind's eye? Can I move down this hallway?
Yes.
Can I try and grab one of the sconces?
You can grab a torch.
Okay.
How are you feeling right now? Describe your headspace.
Well, pissed. For one.
No, you're not supposed to have ire.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah, well,
supposed
I
to.
am. Mad, inquisitive, loopy.
Mad, inquisitive, loopy. You grab this torch off the wall, and as you try to kind of move forward, it's almost like that point in a dream where like you're being chased and it feels like you're paralyzed. You're staring into this darkness. You do not know what stands in front of it, but you feel mixed in with your anger, this inquisition, a sense of fearful curiosity. And behind you, you feel the bright light of the moonbeam.
Can I walk the torch towards the moonbeam?
You can.
Okay.
And as you do, it alights with a white flame.
Okay. Now can I move back towards the darkness?
You're still feeling like you're in sludge. You're in molasses. As you kind of pull over, you kind of see written in the darkness, breathe.
Okay, I do. A deep breath.
Relax. It sort of reforms.
Okay.
Make me a wisdom save.
That's not great. 5.
5. You, being Lucian, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but the life you've lived has left you hardened and not quick to deal with any bullshit. And that's all the Feywild seems to be. It irks you.
I throw the white flame torch down the dark hall.
It disappears into the darkness until you feel a strange, almost chill behind you, and you see it stands at the back of your feet.
The torch?
Yes.
Spooky. I'll pick it back up and hold it towards the words again.
And it kind of does the same thing. Breathe, relax, calm down.
Can I
Maybe
wake
you
up?
maybe you need to fall asleep and go a level deeper. A dream within a
A
dream.
dream within a
Oh
dream.
man. Don't give me any
I
ideas.
don't have a top, dude.
I can't do that.
You wake
it's
up?
too dangerous.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll wake up.
You share with the group.
Yep.
Okay, so you need to relax more. Maybe I should try?
Go for it.
Do you think you're the most relaxed? It's an honest question.
I
not a-
genuinely
no-
do think so.
Well, okay then. Give it a shot.
Aelin kind of curtsies and points at the wall.
Alright, I'll try.
Okay. And after a while, you feel the same thing. For you, it's a little different. You see that the walls are covered in moss, and vines and ivy. You can barely make out the sconces as they are so dimly illuminated by the light of your moonbeam.
Okay, I'll pick the sconce off the wall.
And you hear a familiar voice. I never thought I'd see you here. And you turn around and you see sort of swooping down from the moonbeam a quaddle.
Oh. What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same thing. It seems this place is sort of like the edge of a veil, more translucent than the rest of the plains.
Do you know where this is?
This dream? No. This location is nowhere I've traveled before. I can tell you, it exists in the Feywild.
What are you doing here then?
It seems I was called to you. We've been distant.
Unfortunately, a lot has happened.
And yet, you still thrive. You strive on, unbroken, unyielding. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
There is something you must find here. You seek an archfey. I can feel it. This magic is unique, individual. Ask them what they know of giants.
Ask the Archfey.
They are much older than any of us. Keepers of tricks are also keepers of knowledge. And there, you might find more answers to what you've been looking for.
And how do we get past this mountain?
And they sort of kind of swoop around and they fly into the darkness, and you see them disappear. And they come back, their wings almost lit just like the moonbeam, all white instead of rainbow. Don't fear the moon. Don't pass with Aya. If you can trust this darkness, it might just trust you.
So walk on without fear.
Don't fear the moon.
I step into the moonbeam.
And as you do, the rest of you see Larissa's body disappear.
Ah, fuck.
And the wall starts to sort of grow over with ivy, with moss. As it does, it starts to split, be pulled open by the fingers of these plants. And you see Narissa sort of walking out into the moonbeam, a white torch in hand.
Fantastic.
I told you I was the
Who goes there?
honest. It's
What?
me.
How do I know?
I guess you don't.
What was the name of our friend that was a dragonborn that we had to kill?
Uran?
Okay, I believe you.
And Aelin kind of starts walking in. She peeks in. This looks a little familiar. And Ersid, you hear in your head straight away.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
As you step in, you see that the moss, the vines, it all sort of follows you in, closing the wall behind you, leaving you in what would be pitch black darkness, led by this white flame. You go further and further until the flame almost becomes useless, as there's these white crystals that illuminate your path, sort of in like these strange filigree-like patterns that you immediately notice resemble Uwasa's tattoo.
I'll nudge Uwasa and point to it.
Oh, I was gonna do that.
We both do that at the same time.
And she kind of like jolts, and you can see her eyeing these with fearful eyes. Her breath shallow, fast, as she takes everything in her to step forward and keep pace.
I sign to her. Deep breaths.
And she, and her fist clenches as she kind of walks closer to you, and she holds your hand.
Nice.
You start to see more and more of these crystals, of these murals, until finally you find a doorway leading you to what looks to be almost like a war room. Around this chasm, you see all kinds of, what would you call those? Windows that aren't windows, kind of like storage units.
Like an alcove?
Yes, that's better. Myriads of alcoves filled with many weapons and murals, pictures, trophies of all kinds. And seated in the middle of the room is a large white wood table. And behind that, a very large, so much for that of a giant sort of couch. Cushions made of purple velvet, it lined in the same white wood that forms the table. As you hear a voice. Well, what do we have here? As a small fairy, their hair purple and swept back, kind of like Jessie from Pokemon, a dress that pulls out like feathers, black feathers behind them, mixing in with their translucent sort of insect-like wings, and a train of a dress going from black to white and disappearing as they sort of float off this couch, much too big
I
for
was
them.
gonna say.
As you think the voice is coming from nowhere until this small, maybe 6-inch tall creature floats in front of you.
Just a couple of very polite and nice travelers.
Lucian rolls his eyes to that.
And
And I look over at Iwasa and I give her a wink.
Wasa's looking at you with fear in her eyes, and she brings her hands up to her mouth, telling you to shh. Very nice. Friendly travelers. I do hope that that's the truth.
Who are you?
Would you be here if you did not know?
You're Nolus.
Indeed, the name says a lot about someone. And you are.
Doesn't really matter, does it?
So, you've learned a thing or two.
People here seem a little hesitant to introduce themselves. I feel like I should follow suit.
Strange.
Yes. I'm not sure trust is a very big thing here in the Feywild, in my personal experience.
Trust is my biggest thing in the Feywild.
Okay, well that's good to hear.
And I have shared with you my name. And I promise, if you share with me yours, no harm will come to you. From me.
Well, I'm turning over a new leaf. So my name is Ersid. You can call me Eddie.
Eddie, it is. And the rest of you?
Lucian.
Narissa.
And this here is Uwasa.
And they sort of float over to Uwasa, who steps back and looks down in shame. Oh, dear friend. And you brought her all this way. And she sort of flies down to meet her gaze and taps her on the nose like you would a bad dog. And what have you learned, Uwasa? And
My facial expression suddenly changes.
I think all of ours did. Simultaneously.
And Uwasa just kind of looks away and looks at her and sort of like gestures at you guys. I'm afraid that is not enough, child. I fear you may have not learned your lesson. You're still hiding something. And this creature floats away and takes their space back on this large couch. And as soon as they touch, they fill it entirely. A large woman now sitting in front of you, smoking out of a pipe, blowing pixies and sprites and frogs and dragonflies into the smoke.
She's the caterpillar.
I think she's the butterfly.
From Alice in Wonderland?
You know, I just mean she's no longer a caterpillar.
She's fully formed.
I'm getting some real Alice in Wonderland vibes for some reason. We're in the rabbit hole right now.
Yeah, we are.
'Tis the Feywild.
Yeah.
We're here on important business.
Uwasa, important business.
I kind of squint my eyes. Yes, and also other things. So you know what happened to Uwasa? You're the reason?
I believe she is.
And only she can break her own curse.
Generally how curses work, don't you think?
Not exactly. There are spells that get rid of some curses.
There
I
are
don't
some
know.
curses that can't be rid of by spells.
So this is just one of those.
Well, perhaps Uwasa is a little bashful. What is it exactly that she needs to do?
She needs to change and grow. Do you know what Uwasa means?
No.
Do I?
Yeah, you would. You would. You're a wood elf, you know, various accents of Elven. You would know that it means rumor.
And as if a sudden realization Ersid had never taken into consideration, he goes, "It means rumor. Am I right?"
Indeed. Quite the nickname, don't you think?
And I shoot a glance to Uwasa to see what she's looking like.
Her hands are kind of like twisted in front of her, grasping each other. Her knees are kind of locked, rattling just a twitch as she keeps looking up and down at Nollis and then back at the rest of the party.
She spread rumors about you.
She spread rumors about many an individual. Quite the gossip you were. Certainly earned your title. Ruined many lives doing so.
I look at Uwasa like, that can't be true.
I know, I'm having a hard time.
I'm gonna insight check the fairy.
But I don't insight check her because I kind of believe it because Uwasa was kind of being shifty about what she did. So,
Okay. 17.
but I mean, you can do
17.
it.
17.
Gosh, one thing you've learned after coming into the Feywild is that they are insanely hard to read. But there's nothing about this more human individual that gives off any tales that says, oh, she's trying to take advantage of Uwasa here.
Well, we all have our faults. I'm a murderer, so as long as some people are trying their best to right the wrongs that they have committed, it should all be water under the bridge. Yes?
Yes, and I am an assaulter. So,
Putting her crimes like
They raise their eyebrow.
but you know, we're all on a path to redemption. I don't know about this bloke, but I'm sure he's got some skeletons in the closet as well. As I nod over to Lucian.
And she kind of puts her hand over her mouth as she stifles a laugh. Murder, assault. In this day and age, it seems to be everyone can hold that title. Have you truly wronged anyone?
I would say so.
I mean, I would say so. And I've known Uwasa, gosh, how long has it been now?
Like 2
2 years?
Like 2 years.
2 years, and she's nothing but pleasant and helpful and kind and considerate. So,
Roll persuasion.
okay, that's good. 16.
16.
Yeah.
So, also it seems that you do much better when you can't speak. No one has been hurt by your words, it seems. Maybe it should stay that way.
Has she not done her time?
That depends. For me, it was only yesterday. 2 years to you, to me, is nothing.
And I'll say, was it you that she wronged personally? Like honestly, like I'm honestly asking.
She made a promise, and she broke it.
What was this promise?
To keep me a secret.
Okay, well,
How old was she?
Also, do you happen to remember how old you were when this all happened? I believe this was... And she starts to think. She's doing arithmetic, and you see coming out of the smoke are a bunch of numbers and like equations and things. What was this? 40, 50 years ago, your time. So that would make you... More equations.
What did we decide? She was
70?
60 or 70?
Oh, so this was 60 years ago then.
Oh. So she was a child.
Wow, I'm just like dawning on the fact that she's been mute for 60 years.
Children make mistakes. I think she has been punished enough.
So, you think this is enough for me to release her?
Well, is she hurting you now? What does your grudge do for anyone?
A grudge or a scar? How am I ever to trust her again?
well,
Because she didn't tell us about you.
She
That's
couldn't.
true. Well, she could have.
She could have.
She didn't speak it. She could have told us. But she didn't.
And also, have you never told anyone about me since your little embellishment there? And she just kind of looks away.
Well, time heals all wounds, right? A scar fades.
Indeed. So in due time, you may find your friend free. Or you may die before it happens. Elves live long lives.
Yeah, I'm only a human, so I really don't have that time, and I'd like to hear a voice at least once.
I don't either.
So-
Same boat.
So, you spoke of other important business. And what might that be?
First, I'm gonna ask you about giants. Get that out of the way, because I was told to. And then we're gonna move on to the important business. What do you know about giants?
You have their scum, thugs, ruffians.
That's it.
Well, what would you like me to give you a whole itinerary on how giants were made, and Onum, and
I
Althea?
know.
and-
I've heard it plenty of times. Thank you. I was told by a Quattle that an Archfey might know more about giants.
Quattle. And why might a Quattle be asking you to ask about giants?
Because I'm different.
Sweetie, so am I.
So, do you have anything juicy on giants, or was a Quaddle wrong and this great archfey doesn't actually know anything about giants?
I know plenty of things about giants. I need to know what you would like to know.
The good stuff. The stuff that they don't preach.
Yeah, the stuff they don't want us to know.
If I tell you about giants, then what do I get out of this?
Don't you have like a sister or something?
And what do you know of my sister? As they lean over the table, staring you right in the eyes, their head about as large as you are.
Just heard tale rumor here and there.
Well,
Perhaps you have business that needs attending with said sister.
yes, I do. As you can see, trust is a very big thing for me.
Okay.
She may lie worse than Wassa.
So you don't like your sister?
Not anymore. And Aelin kind of like steps up. Well, now, Nollis, I remember your sister. She was really nice. Nyla's a really sweet woman, fae, god, I don't know. But she was always nice to me. Had sweets here. Would come out to the forest and play with the gawk. I've seen her speak with the Scrungs. Everyone loves her. And she kind of sneers. Everyone loves a liar. They do their best to get on your good side. And there are a couple of individuals that she chose to really take favor.
Maybe hold on to that for the bigger stuff. We might need to negotiate for the real business. But for this, for the information, since you value truth so much, if you give us information about the giants, then I'll answer any 3 questions completely truthfully to you. Anything. long as I know it.
Oh, it is not so simple, my dear. Whatever knowledge you carry can't be of too much import, can it now? Let's start
Well,
there.
you-
What can you tell me that I do not know?
You don't know or care much about the material plane, I suppose. There is a lot of things going on there.
Try me.
What do you know?
Do you?
What? What were you gonna say?
No, you go.
What do you know about Marshalk?
Absolutely nothing. The Mashalk is what now?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Roll persuasion.
Ersid, help. Say something.
Yeah, just wait till you hear about this one. It's a real doozy.
Oh no.
I'm gonna make you roll for this help. Just roll to persuade me, Erison.
All right. 14.
I'll let you have advantage.
Okay, natural 20. 21. Would you like to know?
About Mashalk.
God.
And what should I know? As she leans in, her elbows kind of sitting on each side of the table, her head resting in between her hands. About this Mashalk.
Do you know what I am?
You want tea?
Marshalk is a deity that some Yuan-Ti revere. Not many anymore. I come from a very small tribe of cultists. And to awake Marshalk, who has been asleep for thousands of years under the ice in the abyss, we were forced to fight each other to the death. Eventually, one of us would become the warrior who would free Marshalk from his icy prison and wreak havoc on the land. I was not that warrior. I died. I was killed. But I didn't stay dead. I've never told you this. Marshalk is supposedly back now on the material plane. He calls himself Sen Kali. A demigod of sorts, maybe. Not strong enough yet to destroy and keep others under his boot. But maybe soon he might be.
So, you're telling me that there's a god risen and hoping to reclaim their power on the material plane.
And he may not be the only one. For he may be one part of a whole. A two-faced god, male and female.
But before we get any deeper into that, I think a question from you now
Question from me.
to be answered about giants.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
Come on, my guy.
You want me to do that?
Come on, my guy.
9.
Is there some connection between giants and this two-faced god?
There might be.
And she thinks, I'm not seeing it. Everything I know here. The giants are children of gods. They resemble them the most. That's why they have such large stature. Some of those gods that birthed these giants or interacted with them were not even part of the Jotnar, as the Weiss Guardians say. I hear one of these gods came from Cholt.
Leans in, interested.
Would that be the Mashulk that you speak of?
You think that Mershulk perhaps birthed one of the giants?
Colluded with them, maybe, is what I've heard.
But the god that is speaking to me is definitely not Mershulk.
And can you tell me about this god that speaks to you? Are they from Jolt?
They send Quattles as messengers, and when... I don't know what they look like, but when they appear in visions, they seem to be a giant.
As most gods do, as they sort of bow.
So they're just very large. But they look like a man.
Didn't the Yuan-Ti call the Quattles?
I think most of them?
And one speaks with you. I'm sorry. We don't have a name if that's what you're looking for. So if it is not this Mashulk, then maybe it is not me you should be asking about giants from Jolt. Maybe it's one of your gods you need to speak with. And one seems to be conveniently walking amongst you.
I don't want to talk to that asshole again. I look upset with that information. He wasn't very forthcoming the last time we spoke. And he doesn't like me, so I'm not sure.
You managed to anger this individual.
He made me mad first, okay?
Sometimes it is best to pick our battles, so they say.
I don't know. I don't know. She's really mad about it. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, I guess that's something. We can move on to why we're really, really here.
That being,
Mela's sisters.
I haven't heard that name in a while. And what would you like to know about Mela's sisters?
We just want them back.
Why?
Because we can't get home unless we get them back to her.
So you just want to go home?
I look at them.
I mean, I would also like Owasa's voice back, but that is on the itinerary.
And you really think that Mela is the only way to get back?
We want Uwasa's voice back. Not just to go back.
I understand. And if I can provide both of those things, would that help you feel better?
Well, is betraying Mela going to have a repercussion later?
Is it betraying when her contract was based on a lie?
You know,
You know.
What did she tell you?
Considering that she just forcibly took us here. Yeah.
She did she lied about who she was turned into a hag, dragged us here, said, "Find my sisters or you won't go home."
And she kind of holds her hands out and shrugs. Very trustworthy.
Yeah, didn't really say that she was trustworthy, but she was our best lead at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, our hands were tied at the moment, and she did promise us a lead for Owasa's voice.
So then, how do
decided,
Sorry, go.
we decided to follow through with that.
Well, you can do your best to take Mayla's sisters from me. Or
You'll give us Owasa's voice back for free and send us on our merry way.
as long as you bring me the third of the coven.
So go back and get Mayla for you. Dead? Alive?
Does not matter to me,
Honestly,
as long as her body is intact.
that's easier. That's easier.
It is easier.
That's so much easier.
It's way easier.
I like look at her appraisingly and I'm like, I don't think that fighting you would be nearly as easy as fighting her.
Can I ask, since you believe in trust, what is it that you need with her, and what is it that you want with her sisters?
My sister stole my power. And now I'm stuck here in this hole, surrounded by illusions and other things. I can't escape, and Mayla holds what's left of it. If I have all the sisters, I can rescind this contract and claim a true place in the court as Archfey.
So then it's not just Mayla that we need to get.
I already have two of the sisters. And she holds she kind of pulls out this necklace that has 3 teeth on it that sort of resemble the Anish jawline. Here is Malthrita. And here she holds a bracelet that looks like it's made out of water, sort of rushing around her wrist. And Melmosa sits quite comfortably on my wrist.
Can I roll insight?
What exactly are you inciting?
That she truly believes in her heart that she was wronged by Mayla and her sisters.
Go ahead and roll insight.
Cocked. 10.
Yeah. I mean, you, after spending some time with this so-called Archfey and her stance on what is considered trustworthy and the things that are important to her, you wouldn't think twice about her taking this stance on Mayla.
I mean, either way, we're doing a favor for someone we don't necessarily want to do a favor for. This way just seems easier.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've got no personal
Yeah,
connection
no
to
real personal stake here.
Yeah, so I mean, if anything, I'm irritated still with Myla. So
Yeah.
Okay, so we go and
She-
kill the ice fae or the ice hag for you. Bring the body back. You give Uwasa her voice back and send us home.
Sounds like a deal to me.
Deal?
I'd say
okay.
What is everyone's passive insight?
fucking 10.
17.
Jesus. What the fuck?
Wait, see. I insight nothing.
It's 11.
11. Ersid, there's a little something sinister behind her smile as she agrees to this. Then a deal it is.
Oh, I don't care, yeah.
I look at Uwasa, try and glean some kind of opinion from her face.
Is Wasa's passive insight. Wasa looks at you, and she sort of like nods at the ground. She's gonna roll sleight of hand here. That's pretty good. As far as you know, you're the only one who can see this, Ersid. I can't say if that's true or not. But she signs to you. She's lying about something.
I give her a nod. And then I ask Nahlis, do you mind if I take a trinket from your establishment so that I may be able to return here quickly?
I'm gonna need you to roll deception with advantage. I'm sure you have an ulterior motive here, but also
I don't. I just want to be able to teleport back here.
then roll persuasion with advantage.
After we kill this bitch.
18.
The faster I have the hag, the faster you all go home. What would you like? As she kind of points at all the different alcoves filled with all kinds of menagerie and things there.
You have a teaspoon for a tea set?
She looks around and comes floating down a silver teaspoon where at the end you see sort of a amulet of a butterfly hanging by a little bit of chain.
Okay, thank you.
I would just like to get this done as fast as possible.
Then hurry on now.
Don't fuck us over. Just don't do that.
Roll intimidation.
Okay. It's a 1.
Is it intimidation or is it desperation?
Yeah, it's kind of just, I'm like, don't do it. Just
Please,
don't. I will
just don't.
explode.
She smiles. I would never.
You better hope not. Okay, let's go.
And you find yourselves back in the wintry world of the Frostfels, as Aelin is sort of grumbling to herself. Nahlis is always so mean, always talks so bad about Nyla. I don't understand. Nyla was so nice. Nahlis is never nice. And then she kind of speaks up. That's the nicest I've ever seen Nahlis.
I don't know. Maybe she thinks we have something to offer her.
A dead body.
Sure.
Or a live one.
Probably dead. Probably dead.
What if we
And
just
I-
convince her to teleport with us back?
We could try, yeah.
And this Fey bitch can just collect her however she deems fit. She can give Uasa her voice, and we can go home.
We can try that.
I express to the group mine and Oasa's suspicion of not the whole truth. As trustworthy as she says that she is, I just can't help but feel that there is something that she's not telling us. But ultimately, like, I didn't know what else to do. I mean, our hands continue to be tied. We are stuck in this godforsaken place. Like, what do? We need to get
Yeah,
out.
it sounds like everybody's lying.
Well,
So,
unfortunately, our hands are tied worse than they were when we got in there, because now we've made a deal. And it
We
seems,
made a double deal.
and it
Our hands are
seems
tied twice. Sorry.
as though if you break your deal with said witch, something life-altering happens for a very long time. Isn't that right, Uasa?
And Uasa like folds her arms and shakes her head. And she kind of points at the mountain and points at her throat and shakes her head.
it's not the same.
That's not the one.
And she signs to you, Ersid. I'm not sure. She looks like her, but something is off. Nyla, Nollis that I knew was nice.
So it must be the twin.
Right.
What if we go find Nyla first?
We just keep making fucking. But where is she? I look at Aelin. Do you know?
No. I've always asked to meet Nyla. And every time I do, she says no. Real mean sneers on her face. And I can't help but feel heartbroken. As
Maybe
if
we don't. Sorry, go ahead.
it's like Nollis and I were friends. At least I remember us being friends. And then she says that and I feel just like a pawn.
When Nyla says that, or Nyla?
Nollis, excuse me.
But you don't know where Nyla is.
Maybe we don't need to have Aelin know where Nyla is. Maybe we just need Nollis to know where Nyla is. And then I point at my watch, my timepiece. If she is within 10 miles, and I activate the spell,
You've already
Nollis
activated
knows.
it today.
I know I did. I know I did. But if conceivably we would have to stay here, pitch a tent or something.
Sure.
If Nollis knows and Nyla is within 10 miles, we can get a direction.
You mean we can find Nyla?
It's possible.
So then,
That's what I'm hoping.
if we find Nyla and get her to talk to her sister, maybe things will be all better. And then we don't have to worry about the gulks and the scrungs and crystals and servitude and hags and...
And I say, yes. And I tap her on the shoulder.
But wouldn't that just make Nollis mad?
I'm sure it would.
It could. It could make everything worse. I don't know.
It could, but also, I didn't think it would hurt to just get a second opinion about things.
And you want it from Nyla instead of Mela. Not from Annie.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
Real. Let's just. Then let's. Do we want to do that? Do we want to talk to Nyla?
I suppose.
I mean, we could wake up in the morning and then. Well, here's the thing: we wake up in the morning and I try the spell and it didn't work. Then then I guess we're just shit out of luck with that plan. Like, we can't find her. We don't know where she is. Like, if she's not within 10 miles, then we're not gonna. It won't work.
So do we want to try it?
Also, when we wake up in the morning, if it doesn't work, we can teleport back to Myla and carry out the plan as said. But I am just interested because you, Aelin, are saying that Nyla is a nice person. Is that correct?
I like to think so.
Well, I would be delighted to meet somebody in this fucking place who is nice. So,
Didn't Mela say that Nyla had stolen the sisters?
Mela said that she had her contract with Nyla. And that Nahus had stolen the sisters.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's go to bed then.
Okay, who's taking watches?
well, just to switch things up, I would
Yeah.
go on a watch with someone other than Uwasa.
I don't
No
have
one
a
wants to.
particular.
I'll go on a
first.
watch with Lucian.
Okay.
Okay.
And we'll also go on a watch with you, Narissa. So, twilight is ever steady. You pitch your tent. You know not what time it is or what time it may be, but you know that after this rest, you will have been in the Feywild for 2 days.
Yeah. Lucian.
My name does not have a T at the end.
I laugh.
All right, let's go back. I think we got off on the wrong foot, or foot, I guess.
Was that,
Are you getting irritated?
was that a foot without a T?
That was the joke.
Wasn't very good.
Well, are you getting irritated?
Yeah.
May I ask what you're irritated by?
This place. You too. Your silent friend is okay.
I gotta say, I am grateful that you're helping us, but you're under no obligation to continue. So, if this is really bugging you, I'm not gonna be offended if you step out.
Well, I'm pretty obligated at the moment.
At the moment, yes, I understand. We all gotta get out of here, but
There's things that align in our paths.
like what?
The Twilight Veil. Also, your dickhead brother making demons is not something that I'm privy to.
Yes, I suppose that is something that should be addressed on an existential level.
On all levels, including
like-
physical.
Anyone who lives in the material plane should be concerned with that. Alright, I'm just, and I blow like a raspberry, I'm trying, and I look down, I can't look at Lucian. Sorry, I did it again. Lucian, I'm trying to extend an olive branch. I'm sorry I blew up at you earlier. Your help is greatly appreciated, but I didn't want to put anyone out.
The past couple of days, you've preached about not meeting anybody nice. And I've traveled with you and helped you in your endeavors for a year and a half now. And still I find you snide and rude. I'm sure you can see where the frustration comes from.
Yes.
I'm not trying to replace your friend.
No, I understand. I understand. And that makes me really sad to hear you say that. Because, you know, prior to a couple of years ago, aside from my own personal baggage, I like to think that I was a pretty happy-go-lucky individual. And I got along with people quite well. I just feel myself drifting away from the person that I want to be. And I'm sorry about that. I'm saying it now. I'm sorry about that.
Well, I appreciate the apologies. I don't mind a snide comment here and there. Banter is always enjoyable. You know, not having any for 7 years, it's pretty lonely, but when it's constant.
Mm-hmm.
So you and your friend are both in the same boat. You are losing yourselves on this.
Which friend? Nerissa?
Yeah,
Yeah.
losing yourselves on this quest. I think you both have these maybe grandiose ideas of yourselves. And you feel like you've drifted away from, but I think that you can always be who you want to be.
Ocean is our therapist.
I'm sorry, I'm being distracted at the moment. That's why I don't usually play with the door open. Sorry, I just gotta... No, never mind. Anyway, back in character. Sorry about that. I don't know, it's a juggling act. You know? On the one hand, you want to be who you want to, like who you are, without compromising. But at this, you know, and there's power in that, being who you are. But at the same time, you know, it's always nice to strive for better. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing right now. So, and I stick out my hand for a handshake, and I say, "You've been nothing but helpful towards me and my pals, and to that I have nothing but gratitude."
I'll clasp your hand.
Yeah, on the forearms.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Not the predator handshake.
I mean, I love that one too.
They're both good.
They're both good, and we'll end that watch there. Good this place as any. As Wassa and Narissa, you guys wake up to take watch, and Aelin decides to hang out with you guys.
Oh, okay.
I just thought it could be us girls, you know? I didn't want to stay up with them. I heard them, they were kind of fighting.
That's just kind of all of us right now.
Why are you fighting?
Because we're really stressed out.
Well, you don't have to tell it on me everything, but, you know, would it be better if you go back home?
And I look sad. I don't know. Not really. Yeah, but also no.
I understand that. Home should be a place that feels safe, but when I go home, sometimes I think I'd rather be with the goblins. And then I go and I'm with the goblins and it's all death and debauchery and trickery. You know, sometimes they eat each other when they get mad.
I understand completely.
You, is that what happened to your old friend? Did Acid eat him?
Not like that. I just come from a place where everything is violence all of the time, and it's kill or be killed, and you're strong or you're dead. You're winning or you're worthless. And I get into a different world, not this one. And it's almost the same.
There are other options. You could be like me. I don't win. I don't lose. I just run away.
I can't run away from my problems.
Well, that might be a problem right there. No, they just kind of follow you. They're your problems, huh?
Generally speaking, they are.
Their problems too?
Kind of all of our problems. And they're very tenacious. Uwasa,
And she looks up from the fire.
I don't want you to think that I don't want to help you. I know I've been kind of just intent on getting home. I do want to get your voice back. As long as you want that, then I want that too. And I don't care who you were or what you did or whose life you ruined. Really, I don't care. Because the you now is the person I know.
And her lip kind of quivers. And she brushes a couple of tears away. And she just comes and gives you a hug. And she looks you in the face. And she points at her chest and points at yours and just smiles.
I think I understand. I've just been so... I mean, obviously you can tell that Ersid and I have been not exactly ourselves.
She shrugs and pats you on the back.
It's just hard. And I don't want to be here. But going home doesn't really... I mean, there's no home to go to.
And she draws a little house in the snow and puts a heart in it.
Home is where the heart is. Yeah. Mine's kind of split up right now.
And she kind of puts a thumb at herself and draws a little line in the heart. It's all broken.
You miss Oliver and Metal.
And she draws a really just kind of skinny face with long hair and tries to color it in by removing the snow. And she points at them and puts a 2.
Kane?
She nods.
I miss Kane too. I miss him very much.
She nods and gets kind of a somber look on her face. And she draws like a circle, kind of like around the camp, just with her hands. And just gives like a thumbs up.
You're happy you're at least with us?
And she draws a line from Kane to the house with the heart in it, and erases the broken heart.
I hope so. I hope at some point, everyone I care about I can be with again. Oh my god.
I hope you can
Man,
be
I'm
with
so
them
glad.
too.
So glad I'm not at that watch.
My life is really a tragedy. You should hear about my boyfriend. It's awful.
Oh my gosh, don't tell me, but actually tell me. I want to know. I want to know. And she starts grabbing all the rations, and it's just like.
God.
And after some time, Lucian and Airsid sort of wake up, and you guys are all together.
I'm finishing the story. I'm like, and then I had to leave.
And she's just like on the ground, just bawling hysterically. What? Everything bad happened to you? All 3 of you is just horrible.
You're telling me.
You told me, and it's bad. I never want to hear this again. Also,
You should come. As I'm packing up, you should come back with us. Come to the material plane.
Can I? Really? That would be. That's so sweet of you, Ari.
If you want.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Are there people like me there? Are they treated nicely?
Some places.
If you're with us, with our friends, you'll be treated nicely.
Yes.
Bless you.
Sorry, I've just been crying so much. Well, first things first, let's find Nyla.
All right,
Yeah.
Airsid.
We don't have any time to waste here. God knows how long we've been gone from the material plane. And so I take out my pocket watch and I don't know. I didn't do anything to it last time. What do I do to it to activate this spell?
Yeah, tell me, please.
Huh. I will take the 2 hands and like turn them so that they are facing exactly 6 o'clock. So then they're exactly like opposite of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So then it looks like a compass. Then it's like the needle on a compass. And so I will turn the dials and then hold it in my hand, like cup it in both hands. And you'll start to see like a green mist come from out of it. And then when I release my hands, it starts to spin around and kind of try and find a direction like a compass would.
Okay, and as it spins around, the face of the watch turns into almost that of a compass, putting what looks to be like a North Star, also hourglass in shape with a bunch of spines around it, listening in the directions. And as it spins around, you hear a voice. You're close. They are here. As it points at Aelin. And we're going to take a break.
What?
What? Airsid just like is flabbergasted.
Bewildered. bamboozled. I'm like, bro, I don't trust a single mother